Welcome back, everyone. RacerX here, and today is pretty exciting because it is finally race day again. I've got over 1,500 miles on my new engine. Those of you guys that follow my channel, you realize my Demon 170 engine kind of took a crap when I was out at the drag strip the very last time I had it. That was many, many months ago. There's something not happy with the car. You saw the two previous passes where all the car did was just bog down on the trans brake, and it never launched. It just kind of bogged down under no power. And that pass, 10:06 at 134 mile an hour, it's down at least 10 mile an hour as to where it should be. So there's something going on with the car that's not happy. And when I went to leave the track, it also did not feel happy. It acted like it didn't want to go out of first gear. Dodge did put a brand new engine in my car under warranty. Turns out there was all sorts of metal and everything in the oil. I never really got a clear answer as to the reason why that was. We got brand new oil in this car. Like I said, good quality E85. I got some more E85 right over here. Everything should be right with this car tonight to run it. And I'm really hoping we can get out and set a new PR tonight out at the track, headed to Bradenton. It's already getting dark. It's like 4 o'clock, 4:30, and it's already trying to get dark on me, and I've still got a little bit of a drive. So hopefully tonight will be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll get some races in. At the very least, we're going to figure out what this car can really do. Let's hope the engine is healthy, it's happy, and we can just kind of put that first fiasco behind us. We will see what happens today. If you guys are brand new to my channel, please do me a big gigantic favor. Hit subscribe. That button is right over here. Only 19% of you guys watching at home are actually subscribed to the channel, and it is absolutely free. And with that said, off we go. Well, I finally made it to the track. As you can see, it got dark awful quick. It's still only like 6 o'clock or something like that. Demon's back here getting cooled off. Just got the tire pressures dialed in. We got Dr. Craig back here. He's got his Trackhawk, which is pretty darn cool. 9 cars. That's all the cars that are here tonight. So it's all about testing. And I'm really hoping the Demon does what it's supposed to do. Now, I know a lot of people like to know what I've done to the car before I race it. So guys, I've got 50 pounds in the front. I go ahead and fill those up just to reduce the rolling resistance. In the back, I'm gonna run 22.5. I may actually take it up. So previous track sessions have taught me that when I start to spin, or if I start to spin, I actually need to take the tire pressure up ever so slightly. But the car is completely ready to go. We got a half tank of fuel, which should be perfect. We've got lots of miles on the car, so the break-in shouldn't be an issue. Let's hope for the best. As you guys can see, Dr. Craig has got his Trackhawk out here. It's a bone stock Trackhawk, street tires, but he's gonna have me run this thing down the strip real quick just to see what it will do. We just got done setting the drive modes in it, so we'll put this thing down through there and see how it does. We had a Durango Hellcat just go, and it ran like a 1226, so we'll see how this one does. All right, guys, I'm in Dr. Craig's Trackhawk. We'll see how this joker does. We're off. Running good. On the brakes. Nice and smooth. I tell you what, you all-wheel drive guys are super spoiled because it's just hit it and go. It's very little fanfare, very little to worry about, and still enjoy driving these cars. All right, guys, so that was an 1170 at 115 mile an hour, 164 on the 60 foot. Not too bad out of a 5,500 pound SUV. So the Trackhawk is definitely doing its thing. DA is not great either. Like, I don't know, it's in the 2000s or something. It's in the 80s here in Florida this time of year. So we don't get great DA down here really until January. Now we're gonna see what the Demon does. All right, guys, here we go. First pass with the new engine on the Demon 170. See how it goes. That was a pretty good pass. Well, that pass didn't feel too bad. Car felt relatively strong. I don't feel like the car came out of power at all. We'll go see what the slip says. All right, guys, so verdict is in on that first pass. Not my best work, but not awful. The car actually felt pretty darn good. 141 60 foot. I've got a little bit of work to do there, but keep in mind the DA outside, it's not very good. I mean, we're still like in the high 70s, and we've got a little bit of a headwind as well, so conditions aren't really great. But the car did dead hook, so we'll work on that 60 foot. 141 is, like I said, not ideal. 8th mile 611 at 116, and then the quarter mile 947 at 145.42. So that means that is the fastest pass I've ever had in this car at 145.42 mile an hour. Like I said, it is hot and sticky in Florida. The air is heavy here, guys. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's not like running someplace that's cool and dry. So any drag racer knows DA does play a part, but you know, so the mile an hour, okay. But I'd like to see if we could at least get maybe into the 930s today. In this DA, I feel like that would be good, and hopefully the car continues to run well. We'll see. All right, guys, time for pass 2. We need to improve on that 60 foot a little bit, so we'll see what the car does. She hooked and booked. The car definitely picked the wheels way up off the ground that time. I think it did the first time too, but you could feel it even more that time. So I'm kind of hoping the 60 foot is a little better and the time is just a little bit better. Like I said, with this DA, this current configuration, sticky air in Florida, I'm kind of hoping if I could just get somewhere in like the mid 9.3s, I feel like that would be a really good time tonight. So car felt pretty good on that. Well, guys, the verdict is in, and that was a new record pass for me. It was better than what I thought it was. I am so unbelievably pleased with how the car ran. That was actually a 924 at 145.44. That's about as good as I can possibly hope for. Remember, I don't have carbon fiber wheels on this car. A lot of the stuff that they had when they ran the 890, much lower DA. The grains are really high right now. I am unbelievably surprised that this thing ran a 924 with everything kind of working against the car. And like I said, with the DA being higher, I ran a 939 previously, was the car's best in 1,500 feet lower DA. So obviously this engine is much happier than my first engine. And I tell you what, 128 on the 60 foot. I did not think in this air, these conditions, the car would do that, but it absolutely did. So if I had carbon fiber wheels on the car, it would have taken maybe another 10th, maybe the 9.1 range. And remember, high grains, high humidity, not ideal DA. So could this car get into the 8s with much better conditions? I can tell you it probably would. So super impressed. Maybe a couple more runs we'll do tonight. Here we go, pass 3. It's gonna be pretty hard, like I said, under these conditions to beat the last pass, but all we can do is try. Like I said, I'm real happy with how the car is running tonight. Hopefully everything goes smoothly on this one. Solid pass again. Car is hooking and booking tonight. That felt good. Well, it felt like a pretty good pass out of the car. Let's go take a look at the slip and see what it did. Well, guys, another really solid pass out of the car. 129 60 foot, 927 at 145.38. So very consistent once again in the 1.2s on the 60 foot for this DA, for having stock wheels on the car, the stock heavier wheels on the car, and really no other weight savings except for just the seats. You know, a lot of guys will say they run, you know, 9.0 or 8.9, but they got a lot lighter wheels and they have other weight saving stuff, and they, you know, have TCM tunes. There's other little things that guys do to kind of get there. But for this car to run consistently in the 9.2s tonight, with bad DA, a lot of grains in the air, you know how it is here in Florida. I did not think the car was going to do that. The car feels very healthy. Well, guys, I just got the Demon all ready to drive home. I went ahead and got the tire pressures where they needed to be, got everything put back in the car. I did try to make one last run in the right-hand lane. Turns out that lane wasn't really prepped. So I ended up spinning. I was left lane basically all night, but the car was just working tonight. It was really nice that the car was dead hooking, like 128 on the 60 foot. I was incredibly impressed with that. Like I said, the grains aren't great tonight, guys. The DA is not great. I got the heavy wheels on the car, and the car still did it, and it still ran a couple of 9.2s tonight, mid 9.2s at about 145 something mile an hour. I think if I had lighter wheels on this car and the air was better, it would in fact go faster. As a matter of fact, I would really like to see in a couple of months when the air gets really good here in Florida, if I put maybe just a little bit lighter wheel setup on this car, if it's able to get in that like 908, 890 something range. When Jim Wilder did it for Dodge, he ran like an 891 at 151. I mean, he had no seats in the car, and he had the carbon fiber wheels on there, really good DA, really prep. I mean, they had the things right in order to make it work. But I feel like I could possibly replicate that after tonight. And I was really, really starting to kind of get down on this car. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'd considered maybe selling it. I'm like, what is wrong with this car? I did the runway event, as I mentioned. Car wasn't quite acting right, but the car felt very healthy tonight. I was very happy. So anyway, guys, just kind of renewed my inspiration just a little bit to try and do more with this car. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, should I be really pleased with a 9.2? I know there have been other guys out there. They're like, oh, well, this guy ran a 9.1 or whatever. Guys, remember, each track is different DA. They're, if they have different wheels on the car, if they've done other things to lighten it. Like I said, I've done nothing else to lighten this car except for take those seats out, and it still has the heavier wheels on it. I talked to another 170 owner tonight, and he seemed to think just by putting a little bit lighter front wheel on this car, it would be at least a 10th faster. So you can see how that adds up when you're trying to get into the 8s. But we might try it. Should be a lot of fun, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.